Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
This episode is brought to you by Harrys.com. Welcome to The Long War. I'm Robbie B, and joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher and Mike Haspel. What's up, guys?
Yo, dog. Great to be here.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yo, happy Space Marine and Chaos Release Week.
Yes, yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out. I'm excited for it.
Yo, I think we have a great show. I mean, we just did the whole webcast, and we basically just talked about 3 psychic powers and answered a bunch of questions. So like, and that's not even scratching the surface of what the heck is going on with all of these new rules, reprints, releases, et cetera. Like it's bananas. I'm
Rob,
excited.
You said happy chaos. So you're telling me that chaos, because we didn't talk about Chaos Black Legion or anything last week, but you're telling me chaos, they got good, right?
I know the answer you want to hear, and in my heart of hearts, I want to tell you yes, Kenny, but it's not true. I'd be lying. They did not get better.
Well, obviously, I'm going to talk about them anyway when we get to the psychic power part of this podcast, because I believe they're the greatest codex of all time, and they got the sickest psychic powers of all time.
Yeah,
as a single tear rolls down my cheek.
I mean, there's some decent stuff in there. Like they get formations, so I feel like they're fluffy, and we'll cover all that. But are we going to see them at Adepticon next year on the championships? Probably not. I don't know. Maybe.
You think they're going to make top 16?
Well, Corn Demon King almost did.
Well, they don't
almost
count.
got in. They don't count.
Corn Demon King are way better than Chaos Space Marines, so we're not counting them.
Hashtag Demon King count too.
Yeah, they don't.
Oh. All right. So like I was saying, I think we got a good show for tonight. I mean, obviously we didn't really talk about this on the webcast, so I think definitely we're gonna hit up the Tabletop Market Watch real quick and talk about the new Imperial Knight Renegade game that's coming out next week, where apparently you get 2 Knight Titans, 1 regular, 1 Knight Warden, which is the one with all the new upgrades. It's actually the same kit, just 1 extra sprue in there. And one of those Sanctum Imperialis terrain pieces for the low price of $195.
How much does the Knight Titan solo retail for?
I want to say it's $165.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So you're telling me I'm going to get 2 for $195 plus this game and the Imperialis?
Correct.
And obviously this is not going to be some direct order only crap, so third-party vendors are going to be slinging it for 20% off online?
I do believe so.
Wow.
Plus, we haven't seen it yet, but apparently there's going to be a data sheet in the box set with rules for playing a Renegade Chaos Knight.
So there you go. That's your chaos breadcrumb for you.
Yeah,
there it is.
They're getting better. 1 breadcrumb at a time.
All day, every day. I finally get a knight.
It's like Sauron, like gathering his strength back, like year after year after year, until finally there's no escaping.
Yes, right. And then in a flashback, when you're watching the Fellowship, when they're like thinking about him beating the shit out of Elrond and all the elves, and he's just murdering people. Like, you remember that? Like, he's just working like literally entire armies over. That's 3.5 chaos.
Yeah.
And now chaos is this stupid eye that just floats above a tower that can't do shit.
Oh well. Maybe they're building back up to the 13th Black Crusade, and then when that book drops, like I could see that easily being another Warzone kind of book.
Oh yeah.
Then a stupid 2 wounded hobbit with invisibility walks in and ruins everything.
I still don't get why they didn't fly on those birds to Mount Doom or whatever.
Oh, do we want to get into that or no?
The birds.
I actually do know the answer to that.
The birds and Gandalf have a very tentative relationship. They're not as tight as you think they are.
They're like cats, but they fly. They're like, we could help you, but now we're gonna help the dwarfs over here. Suck it. Nah, it's all good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that night box, because I think for a lot of folks, I mean, I could see people easily picking up 1. I'm not sure how the game is, but I mean, thus far, most of their games have been dope. Like that Betrayal at Calth game was dope. I loved it. Like, I want to see an expansion for that thing. But You know,
and even for the non-board gamers like myself, like it still does. It's so secondary. Like you're telling me I'm getting 2 nights in this fortification for this incredible discount. Like I mean, like the game, that's fine. I might play it, but what's really gonna happen is I'm just gonna buy it to get those 2 models.
yeah.
Like that's crazy. Like I mean, the game. I mean, yeah, you're right. Every board game they've made is fun. But
I mean, for the most part, even Execution Force, you can play by yourself, like Caspel was saying, and
that's Haspel's favorite game.
I actually really like Execution Force. I play it. I even got the little White Dwarf expansion where they added a Demon Prince instead of the Chaos Lord to it. My only beef with Execution Force is it's very inconsistent. Like sometimes you play it and it's cakewalk. You get in there and you're done, you know? And then sometimes it's impossible just because of the randomness of the game.
You mean 40K? You're describing like your 40K experience day to day.
Pretty much, yeah. But what I liked about Execution Force is they added in the back of the little book and in some of the White Dwarfs, they have like achievements. Like, hey, I was able to do this in like less than this many turns. You know what I mean?
Do you have a wall of achievements at home? Like you're on the trophy shelf of achievements?
No, I'm not that sad.
I'm gonna make you some, Haspel. Just
sad/awesome.
Laugh
coming
cry.
from the guy, laugh cry. Coming from the guy who has like literally every map of Middle Earth on framed on the walls of his basement.
That's how you need to answer to what the birds were doing.
Yeah, among other things, like the fact that his wedding ring is literally the one ring to rule them all.
Oh,
yeah. Well, we had to change some of the Elvish on there because my wife wouldn't deal with the and in the darkness bind them, which I thought was appropriate, but
yeah, it's seriously appropriate. But so it's still an Elvish.
No.
It's still an Elvish.
Yes, it is.
Just slightly altered. No, I dig it. So I think a lot of folks are going to be picking that one up, and unfortunately, fortunately for some of our wallets, that is looks to be the only release for next week thus far. But we did see the Oruks, where Games Workshop put up on their website, like randomly, accidentally put up like 3 preview pictures on their website for the Oruks, like the data sheet and this dope looking. I don't even remember what it was, but it looks basically like a war boss. Whatever their war boss is, it looked dope. Like if they make that in 40K for orcs, man, I don't even know what to say. It looks so good. But so that should be coming out soon-ish, air quotes ish.
Ish.
We don't know when that's going to be. So there's some cool stuff still on the way. But I mean,
what else? Is the Crimson Slaughter confirmed, like already out, or is that still on the horizon? What's going on with the Crimson Slaughter?
Yeah, that comes out this week. The $33 supplement, the soft cover.
And that's going to be chock full of new chaos artifacts and new formations.
It's got new formations. I think is on the artifact front. They're all the same.
And they even took one of my favorite ones away.
No, actually they didn't. That was my B. The Bellstar's still in there.
Oh, sick. The only way chaos can get divination.
Yep. Yeah, they're still all in there. There's one. Let me see.
Also want to put this out, public service announcement. Don't hit me up on Facebook and talk about how you play chaos, and then you start telling me about your demon list.
Oh.
Because you don't understand the struggle. Chaos Demons is one of the strongest armies in 40K. You have to say, I play demons. Like you're not on the same plane of frustration if you play demons, and you think you're on the same side as people who play Chaos Space Marines and have to laugh cry every game of 40K.
Kenny, there's a formation that lets you take possessed.
Oh, I'm sure. And remember, Crimson Slaughter have different possessed than the regular Chaos Codex, and they are still overpointed and still terrible.
Oh, these are so bad.
They're still. Let me put it this way: they're more points than Wolfen.
Yeah,
really.
Just think about that for a second.
Yeah, seriously.
Laugh cry.
You laugh cry that shit.
But Wolfen are, I think, they might even be undercosted. Like,
I think they are.
Yeah, they're.
They're clearly undercosted. We broke it down as soon as Wolfen came out and just did a pros cons to Terminators, like 2-up save, 3-up invulnerable, one
Feel no
wound.
pain, extra wound.
They come with the extra wound.
They're like 70-some points each.
For 50 points, they have the 3-up invulnerable and the strength 10 Thunderhammer. Rage, they can run and charge. They have feel no pain. When you break them down point for point, they are something like 80% more point effective than a Terminator is.
Yeah, nice.
Not to mention the fact that they still get to swing after you kill them.
And they get to swing twice. They get like the whirlwind attack. So they are literally a different level. Like, and that's what I'm saying is possessed Marines are the same are more points when at their base level. But if you start trying to make possessed Marines good, like, oh, let's give them Marquezine so they have 4 up and vulnerable. You mean I'm like, so now I'm 1 point, like 2 points cheaper than a Wolfen, and I have a 4 up and vulnerable and 1 wound and no strength 10 AP2 attacks? So that's the pain. But Haspel has an interesting story about finally understanding my bitching and complaining about chaos. And I mean, I always say play for the love, and I always will, and I always try to win my games. And he used to always like, you know.
Yeah, I basically, you know, it just falls on deaf ears. Every time I heard Kenny talking about chaos, I was like, QQ, don't care. Like, that's what you get for not following the Emperor. You know what I mean? And then I played chaos at Adepticon. And it's like, watch, you know, not only was I like, wow, like nothing works. Like nothing works. You have to just be 150% on your game on everything. And your die rolls have to just be perfect for anything to work. And then I saw Juice, like I got eliminated in that game very quickly. And so I just like handed my Helldrake over to Juice and went, you do what you got to do. And I saw Juice play one of the tightest 40k games I've ever seen. And it was just for 3 points after like 2 hours. It was so grim. It was so grim. I was just like, well, yeah, Chaos probably needs some love.
Yeah.
Just a 360 Helldrake would be super.
I mean, I can't believe they thought it was so OP that they did that to it. It's like, oh my god, this one weapon flyer that only is that's an AP3 flamer in a world of Death Stars. The one thing that can kill LR jet bikes. That's actually why we did so good. We got 40th place. About 120 teams signed up. There were drops. So at the end of the day, they didn't factor in any drops for the final tally. So there was 100 teams in the final tally, and we got 40th. So, you know, straight up. And the people who wrote it out all weekend, there were 60 teams that did worse than us. You know, and so that's what I'm saying is like, you play for the love, you can always make things happen. You play a tight game, you can always make things happen. But it came from playing from the love. We didn't go in there talking about how we're going to win Adepticon. We came in there with tight thematic lists. We omitted things and added things for theme and competition. And we went in there, did our best, and we got a good finish. We did better than we did last year. We got best heretical team. We felt like we put on a good show. And at the end of the day, I think that I did my job in finally conveying to Hatspool that chaos matters too.
Yeah, and I think
Yes.
if we haven't said it enough, you know, thanks to Zach Bowles from Man Beer Painting for painting the armies and letting us play with them, show them off and stuff. We actually have 3 of them for sale still. I'm going to put them up as a feature on Spikey Bits here soon, so you can check them out, see if they're your cup of tea. They do come with Helldrake, so that makes them OP.
They are each 1,000 point thematic chaos list is CAD legal. They were designed that way from the beginning, so we also had that restriction. When I designed the list, I designed them in such a way that each individual could still be a legal army. Mm-hmm. And so there was that restriction, so like they're all good to go. They're all amazingly converted, all organic, real organically just well-converted paint scheme. So definitely take a look at Spikey Bits when the article comes out. But before we go on to webcast recap, I did want to mention our sponsors, Harry's.com. Now, let me break this down for you individuals. I've been shaving with Harry's.com since Adepticon, the official razor of the iciest sideburns in Warhammer 40k. If you log into Harry's.com and you utilize the Long War as your promotion code, that gains you an incredible discount to the Truman set, the Truman kit. It's a shaving kit that's on their website. They have all these amazing kits, but the Truman shaving kit, it's normally $15. Use the Long War as your promo code. It is $10 with free shipping. That's an incredible discount. I'm talking about like it's amazing. Like I'm talking like the shaving gel changed the game for my sideburns. Amazing. We're talking about a guy who has to shave every day to keep these sideburns looking fresh. Definitely worth it. Check out harrys.com. Use the promotion code thelongwar.net when buying the Truman shaving kit. You will thank me later, I promise. All right, enough of that promotion. Though an incredibly valid promotion. Haspel, hit us with hard.
Well, before we get to that, are we still doing like the marketplace thing? Is that a couple more?
Yeah, we should go.
Yeah.
I turned it over to you. You're in charge now.
Oh, okay. So a couple more things in the marketplace. If you guys are in the beta for Battlefleet Gothic, I think that they added the orcs for sure, and they may have released the Eldar fleet.
They put on a trailer for it. It looked dope.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. I'm loving the game right now. I'm about 50-50 on my battles though. I suck. but it's a fun game to get into. And then GW put out this little quiz app on iPhone and Android. And it's basically the format is like the trivia games at bars. It'll ask you a question, give you multiple choice answers, and then the faster you answer the question, the more points you get. And it retails for like $2.99. They do have additional little quiz packs that you can buy for 99 cents, in-app purchase. But where they get you, and this is, I was like, oh, this is silly, but I have a chip in my head, so I buy everything GW puts out. And I started playing this like Space Wolf pack that they had, and then when you answer the questions, it has a worldwide leaderboard of everybody else who's taking the same quiz and how you did. And a half hour later, I was still playing the stupid thing.
I gotta get the high score.
Yeah, I was just like, I gotta beat this. And it has an interesting algorithm too, because it only scores you for the world leaderboard on questions you weren't asked before. So on like repeat questions, it doesn't count them because you're able to whittle options down. So I thought that was really cool. And if you enjoy like little trivia games or whatever, they have different packs for like Age of Sigmar. I think the Age of Sigmar, the Horus Heresy, and 40k ones come with the app. And then they have a bunch of other ones, like 6 other ones that you can pay 99 cents for and get. So it's pretty neat. And then for the webcast recap, we've got Sam Scott. We were giving him a little bit of grief on the webcast for kind of just switching his chaos stuff to Codex Space Marines. But he asked, am I weak, or just do I realize after this new Black Legion supplement that my Marines have no reason to live under the GW flag of hate, hashtag Chaos Lives Matter? So I thought that was pretty hilarious. And then Marcus Pearson asks, what's our take on the chapter tactics wording in the supplement, and if they affect vehicles without the chapter tactics rule? So I'm going to throw that out to you guys because I don't know.
What are we talking about specifically, Rob? Do you know?
Okay, that's what I'm not sure of. So say that one more time.
Okay, he was asking, what is our take on chapter tactics wording in the supplement, and if it affects vehicles without the chapter tactics rule?
Well, traditionally, it doesn't, right? Traditionally, the vehicles don't have chapter tactics. Am I correct on that, Rob?
I'm not sure. I think if you say, hey, I'm taking...
Well, just flip to any page in the supplement, look at a vehicle, and see in special rules if it has chapter tactics.
Well, there isn't any vehicles in the supplement.
Okay, well, then go to Codex Astartes and tell me.
Well, doesn't the
I don't think that's the thing.
Doesn't the Iron Hands, don't they have chapter tactics?
I think they had some caveat.
Okay.
I think they had some caveat. Like they have, like theirs is like, I think theirs is special. You know what I'm saying? Like I think, but I mean it's real easy. Like I can tell you right now, the answer is if you go into your parent codex that the supplement draws from. Like if it says, if you have to use Space Marine Codex, go to special rules. If it doesn't have chapter tactics, it doesn't have chapter tactics.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good interpretation of it.
This has been something. This is something that's been on the table for a while. Obviously local FAQs, all these other things. They can change anything you want, but in my experience, they don't. Rob obviously is the man in the field, our technical support guy. Looking it up right now. While he's doing that, Haspel, do we got anything else that we can address?
We had a couple people just shout you out for your Twitch live stream that you did today. I guess it was the first time, right?
First time. So Next Level Painting is on Twitch now. We're doing a minimum of one weekly live stream on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Pacific. It'll be just me going through my normal workflow, whatever I'm doing that day. Today was an interesting episode. I did some live airbrushing. Shout out to my boy Kyle Sadi for spending 4 hours on Skype with me, getting me familiar with the program. I think we have a really polished product right now, far above our station as a beginner Twitch stream, thanks to this individual. Minimum one a week. Look forward to more. These things are going to go onto YouTube afterwards. If you missed a stream, you're going to be able to see them on YouTube. Obviously, chock full of ads. And then eventually I'll be offering some special version of that with no ads on my Patreon page to my personal crowdfunding page that I won't advertise here too much. I won't even tell you the link. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. And as usual, this is all part of the same network, aka the Long War. And eventually we're going to be using this technology to stream possibly X-Wing games, maybe some Mike Haspel Corner episodes coming in the future, maybe even Cooking with Juice, the Eats Kitchen, the Eats Lab. This might be a technology we go a lot of places with, and so thank you to everyone who's helped us along the way, and definitely check out the next_level_painting on Twitch. Follow the URL trail. Throw me a follow, and let's make Twitch happen for the Long War together.
Nice.
So coming back with the answer to that, it says under chapter tactics, all models drawn from a given chapter benefit from the chapter tactics rule as described below. These rules will often refer to a model, character, or unit by its chapter. In all cases, this refers to a model, character, or unit with a chapter tactics special rule that is drawn from the given chapter.
So, I mean, there it is. If it has the special rule in its profile, it has it. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Good find, my man.
It's semi confusing, to be honest. I mean, because
I'm listening.
All model. I don't think you have to have the chapter tactics special rule listed.
The final sentence of that syntax was literally said you did, though. Like, go back with that last sentence you read to us. It literally said, as defined by the chapter tactics special rule.
As that is character unit with chapter tactics special rule that's drawn from the given chapter.
So you're drawn from the given chapter, and you have to be an independent character or unit with a chapter tactics special rule. And if you, I
feel like they're talking about the chapter tactics special rule beneath here, like Ultramarine chapter tactics. If your army contains Ultramarine units, you can choose to enact this Devastator doctrine or whatever. Like, I don't know. Let me look at the units in here, because if a tactical squad doesn't say chapter tactics on it, then
it does. I promise you, it says it, and I promise you, a Rhino doesn't.
Yeah, and I don't know.
I promise you, it's in there. Like, I mean, this is something.
As far as like rhinos and stuff, let's see.
Yeah, take a look. No big deal.
Special rule? No, it's not listed.
Yeah, and it is for other units. Like every other unit that's not a vehicle. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
So no.
And you can go to the Iron Hands chapter tactics on that page and read theirs. I think there's a caveat on there where it says vehicles have it will not die.
White Scars, Fists, Templars, Iron Hands.
Iron Hands, the best.
It will not die special. Iron Hands characters and vehicles have the it will not die special.
Yeah, so it's like.
So that's their caveat.
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying. I mean,
it's like an encompassing thing.
Not new territory. They override it with their rule. I mean, it makes it so basically what it means is Ultramarine Rhinos don't get to have twin-linked Stormbolters when they enact their doctrine. You know, it means White Scar Rhinos don't have hit and run, which is redundant. It also means that unless otherwise stated. I don't know what the Raven Wing chat detectives say. But if it doesn't say vehicles get the stealth on the first turn, then their vehicles don't. You know.
Yeah, I can see all that. That makes sense.
As a permissive rule said, permission has to be granted, and the language is pretty strong here. So sorry, my man, I don't think it works that way.
But there's plenty of other stuff to talk about. I feel like some of the psychic powers we were alluding to earlier.
Oh, we got plenty to talk about here. Just one second. So before we do that, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. Hear from our normal purchasable sponsors, and I'll give you a quick intro to that. The sponsors you're about to hear from are super into the hobby. They are all giving out promotion codes that are giving various discounts to veterans of the Long War. That is, if you go to thelongwar.net and you sign up and become a veteran of the Long War, you gain access to these promo codes and you gain various discounts for products in this game and this hobby. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out. If you're paying $5.99 a month for exclusive and early access to all of our content, and you buy one major purchase every 2 months, it's essentially a swap, even trade. So obviously let that factor into your free 7-day trial, which we also give you the promotion code during. Feel free to use it as many times as you want.
Dear veterans, quickly make your way to thelongwar.net and find out how to reap your hard-earned spoils of this long war. For our allies at dicehead.com have rewarded us all with an extra 6% discount on all dicehead.com merchandise. So stock up, dear veterans, and enjoy. Veterans, have you been by thelongwar.net lately? New spoils are piling up. Sign up at thelongwar.net and claim your code to unlock valuable discounts at your favorite wargaming stores. Our friends at kingshobbiesandgames.com have added to that horde. An additional 5% off their already low prices. Sign up for free. thelongwar.net. Dear veterans, quickly make your way to thelongwar.net and find out how to reap your hard-earned spoils of this long war. For our allies at secretweaponsminiatures.com have rewarded us all with an extra 10% discount on all Secret Weapon Miniatures merchandise. So stock up, dear veterans, and enjoy.
And we're back. Rob, hit us with the meat and potatoes of this episode.
So we're going to talk about the 3 psychic powers I think are the most brokenness, the newest game-breaking hotness. We'll go with that. So first off is under Fulmination Discipline. It's the number 6 power. It's called Electro Displacement. It's Warp Charge 2, so pretty attainable, pretty easy to get off, air quotes, for most Marine builds, I would imagine, because everybody's taking a Librarius.
Everybody takes a Conclave, so literally, even if you didn't, you're right, it's not hard to get off.
Well, I mean, if you have
Green
Knights,
you have
everything
one
is
level 2
Warp Charge.
Psyker, if you have one level 2 Psyker in your army, Rob, and you roll a 3, you're getting this power off.
Yeah, I dig it.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's easy to get off.
So Electro Displacement is a blessing that targets a single non-enemy unit within 24 inches. Remove all models in the target unit except one, and then swap the position of the Psyker with that model. Then set up all models from the Psyker's unit, if any, within 6 inches in unit coherency of the Psyker, and set up all remaining models from the swap models unit within 6 inches of the unit coherency of that model. So they literally swap places and then 6-inch coherency from each other.
So there is a caveat. 6-inch coherency makes it so you're not bringing hordes with you. You're not bringing an Imperial Guard 50-man blob squad. But you are bringing
24-inch.
You're bringing an elite close combat unit with you, probably.
Most likely.
It's also a secondary Gate of Infinity that's harder to get off, honestly, because you have to use friendly models. This is an amazing ability, Rob.
Yeah, and that's within 24 inches. You can grab somebody.
Yep. Wow. And furthermore, if the unit was locked in combat, the displaced unit is not locked in combat with the enemy. Otherwise, you can't put models within 1 inch.
So it's also it's also a reverse hit and run.
Yes.
Like if I got 10 tactical marines locked into this close combat with 5 scouts they can't kill, I can yank them out over back to this objective and put my other unit there to kill them. Normally,
I would say that you never have a problem with hit and run with Marines, but we all saw me fail at 3 times in a row on the latest battle report. Cry laugh.
Librarius Conclave passing on 2 ups with a reroll from Tigurius almost never fails.
I feel like that's better odds.
Better odds than don't roll a 6.
So the big thing to note here is, unless locked in close combat, these units can charge in the same turn.
Wow. Yeah, that's big.
That's amazing. And I'll wait until we get through all three to make my proposal. I like a simple army list that can take advantage of all these powers. But before you get to the next one, I do want to briefly talk about Black Legion real quick. So you heard me at the beginning of this episode getting excited about Black Legion, talking about how obviously the formations are garbage. I finally went through the Black Legion book and actually decided there is a gem in there, and it's called the Cycloptic Cabal. It is 3 to 5 Chaos Sorcerers, which is amazing if you play Chaos competitively like I do and you win tournaments. Like we've got videos from tournaments of me beating 2 Eldar armies in a row, like with this technique using Chaos Sorcerers, which are the top 3 best psychers in the game. One of my big problems is if you take a Chaos CAD, you can't take a Chaos Ally to get that 3rd psyker. Because it's illegal. You can't take an allied force of the same faction if you're CAD, if you're primary detachment. And I like to use demons in between. This allows me to take a formation of just 3 sorcerers with one little tax, 15 points because they have Veteran of the Long War. So that's amazing if you're me. Obviously now I've increased my psychic ability, increased my psychic shenanigans, playing my spawn, my Maulafines and everything. But here's their new psychic power. They get a power called Shroud of Deceit. And this is obviously an honorable mention in the top 3. This is not top 3 game breaker. This is amazing though for Chaos. This is like akin to the old Puppet Master ability in 6th edition, where you could it used to be a focus Witchfire, where you take control of one model in the unit and it can shoot, or like you can take control of just a single unit. Model unit.
I hated that power so much.
This is amazing because it's 30-inch range, malediction, non-vehicle. Take control of an enemy unit, and you could fire it. And at first glance, like me and Rob were talking about, Rob's like, "Well, how's that any good?" I was like, "Rob, you don't drink chaos like I do. Like, what's the number 1 army you play against? Eldar. So you're telling me I can target 10 Ballista Skill 5 Warp Spiders and say, you guys, shoot your stupid rifles and kill that Eldar jetpack unit over there. Like, just kill him.
Oops.
Or I can take a Wraith Knight and say, shoot your D cannons to that other Wraith Knight. Or my favorite trick, Tau. Now that Storm Surges are everywhere, like let's say on turn 1 they brace their Storm Surge and then they're like, oh, I'm going to shoot all my weapons twice. I'll take control of it and I shoot all their D missiles off, so that they don't have D missiles anymore. I mean, like literally, I shoot their Strength 10 template twice and all their D missiles twice. Like this is an amazing ability. I'll take Grav Centaurians and kill a unit of 10 Space Marines. I'll take a unit of Cataphragm Destroyers and kill another unit of Cataphragm Destroyers. This is a sick power, and here's the only problem. It's level 3. Oh, that sucks. But the Cabal has another special rule. If they want to manifest this dark ritual, as long as the guys are all within 12 inches of each other, for every guy who's within 12 inches, you add a free dice to your warp charge pool that doesn't count toward anything. So you got 3 guys. That's 3 free dice for this power. That's the math on that is like every 2 dice is like a free warp charge. That's like 2.5 free warp charges. That turns this power into like a 1.5, 2 warp charge discipline.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty powerful.
And it's like the reason Chaos Psychers are so good to Chaos Sorcerers because you give them Spell Familiar. They get to reroll failed psychic checks. So I mean, look for me to play my new Chaos with the Psychic Cabal, this Cycloptic Cabal, and I can't wait to play some Tau guy and just be like, oh, all your D missiles, I'll shoot them over here. You don't have them anymore. You know what I mean? Like, so it's an honorable mention. It's obviously not in the top 3 game breaking psychic powers, but it's awesome and it's good for Chaos. Rob, I'll let you hit us up with another one.
All right, another one I really like is called Shifting Worldscape. It's a Warp Charge 3 power that targets a single terrain feature within 24 inches. And now I know everybody's going to go to their main rule books and start figuring out what's terrain and what's not terrain. I think it's on page 108. So it targets a single terrain feature within 24 inches of the Psyker and in their line of sight. The terrain feature must be one that can be physically picked up and placed in a different location on the battlefield. Move the terrain to an area of open ground anywhere on the battlefield within 24 inches of its starting position, so long as it's no more than 1 inch away from any other models or other terrain features after relocation is complete. So no scatter. If it fits, it sits. any units that have all their models on the piece of terrain are moved with it. So friend or foe. So you move stuff closer, move stuff away, move your own stuff away, whatever, right? Then if a unit has only a portion of the models on its terrain feature, then the models that occupy the terrain piece are immediately moved off of it by their player in the same manner as a model disembarking from a vehicle, treating the edge of terrain as an access point and ending this move wholly within 6 inches of the terrain and in coherency. Models moved in this way must then take a dangerous terrain test. So it's a little bit of a gotcha there too, depending on what you're trying to do.
That has obviously got a million applications.
Oh yeah.
Terrain has become rhinos.
Yes, that is amazing. Obviously, we'll break that down here in just a second once we get through all three. But man, like I said, I've already coined that the Magneto B-boy stance attack.
Yeah. So here's an interesting thing then, because it says they have to come out within 6 and in coherency.
Mm-hmm.
What if they can't?
I guess they would emergency disembark.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like,
well, even emergency disembarkation forces you to be in coherency.
Yeah.
You would have to lose the models, do the crunch rule. I think
that can't come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's crazy. Ugh.
So the last one that I wanted to talk about, it's not like super OP, but I think it's a solid power.
It's obviously powerful, but we've seen things like it before.
Sure. It's called Veil of Time, Warp Charge 2. Veil of Time is a blessing that targets the Psyker's unit. While this power is in effect, the Psyker in his unit can reroll failed saving throws.
So Space Marine Fortune, obviously, Death Stars have been unkillable for a long time. This just like puts the official stamp on it. You're not going to kill the Death Star.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now that we've talked about those three, Rob and I talked earlier today, and we just slapped together a quick little list to just kind of take advantage of these powers really easily. And we're doing it with one of our favorite units, the Wolfen, because Wolfen are slow and powerful and point costed like amazingly efficiently. We're talking Company of the Great Wolf, taking 2 Wolfguard battle leaders fully decked out on Thunderwolves, taking 2 Rune Priests fully decked out level 2 Psychers with jump packs, taking 2 units of beefy like 8-man or 7-man Wolfen units, all Storm Shields, all Thunderhammers. Done. Company of the Great Wolf met. Now we're going to slide over to formations. We're going to take, obviously, the Librarius Conclave. We're going to take 2 level 2 Psychers on bikes and Tigurius. Then we're going to take the 10th Company Task Force, another Space Marine formation. This is the Scout formation. We're going to take 3 units of Scout Bikers. They have to take cluster mines, unfortunately. But once you get through that tax, we're going to take these guys, Chapter Tactic, Raven Guard, for the first turn improved cover saves. Scout Bikers can infiltrate and scout. So you have 3 fast-moving units that are they're going to get within 1 inch of the enemy in the first turn of the game, and they can stagger their long 60 millimeter bases back. And both of your Wolfen units basically have multiple 12-inch moving models in them. They have a Rune Priest, they have a Wolfguard Battle Leader on a 60 millimeter base, and they have some combination of Librarians on bikes and Tigurius. You're going to be able to move up, move the 12 inches, infiltrate, scout the Bikers on turn 1. You're going to be able to displace with one of the Scout Biker units, one of your Wolfen units. Boom, done. Now you've taken an enemy unit, swap places with the Wolfen, and now you're going to be able to charge the enemy in their backfield. That's just done. You can't stop it. Because it's a blessing, you need to throw a shitload of dice at it, and this is Librarius Conclave. Then the next thing you can do is an option select. You can option to keep the Wolfen in a position to deal with threats in the midfield or the backfield, or you can bunch the secondary unit of Wolfen together into a terrain piece that you've selected for this purpose, and now either the guy in that squad or because you staggered them appropriately, the squad you slingshotted forward, we're calling this the slingshot engaged attack, they can reach back 24 inches because it's a blessing that goes 24 inches, grab the terrain feature that you put all your other Wolfen in, send it 24 inches forward. So that's like a 48 inch. Once you're in the midfield, that's the whole table. And they'll be able to put this new terrain feature anywhere they want within 24 inches. And you'll be able to basically have all your Wolfen in the enemy's deployment zone able to multi-charge literally every model in their army. And I mean, that's 5 warp charge points.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
man.
have 11. We have 11 plus D3, and we're gonna cast our biggest powers on 2-ups or rerolls. I mean, very easily we're gonna have possibly rerolling in our invulnerable saves or some other amazing power on these guys. Additionally, we've factored in because now the meta is gonna change. You're gonna need to deal with people doing this to you. So the reason we have those rune priests in there is because they have adamantium will, because they have ward.
Yeah, definitely.
Tigurius has a level 3 psychic hood. We're blocking on minimum your return maledictions on 4-ups, and best case scenario on 2-ups.
So you're gonna have to keep Tiggy within 6 of both Wolfen squads, or
So if you have a threatening malediction, all I have to do is get Tigurius in a situation where he's barely within 6 inches of one guy on a bike who's toe dragging near him from one of the units.
And you had 2 librarians on a bike with Tigurius?
Tigurius and 2 librarians on bike and 2 wolf and 2 rune priests on jump pack.
Okay. Oh,
So,
on jump packs. Okay.
Yeah, game jump packs.
Mhm.
Okay. Interesting.
So I mean, literally, you're talking like you go first. You're literally just shutting people down on turn 1. And if you go, and then also we did the 10th Company Task Force with the bikers. You send 1 biker unit forward, hide the other 2 behind terrain pieces in the midfield, save them for return. Ricky Bobby, shake and bake.
Shake and bake.
So you displace the first one, right? Then it turbo boosts. Now check this shit out. So you displace the one you scouted infiltrated up in the gut. Then it's gonna turbo boost 12 inches to a new position. The other ones are all gonna shift too. Then you're gonna crush what you're doing. You're gonna crush your enemy. You're gonna have this whole unit of 2 wanted models with 3-up invulnerables with tanks involved and possibly rerolling saves and maybe even more powers, right? Maybe Shroud special roll. Who knows? You have a lot of rolls, right? Then on your next turn, you can re-levitate 1 Wolfen unit over here, displace with another biker unit that moved up 12 inches, got to a new location, and do it all over again. Now all of a sudden you have an army. Now this is what we talk about. 40k. There's like 3 simple fundamentals of 40k right now to win missions. It's either kill your enemy's models, have models in your army that are unkillable, or have the ability to be everywhere. So that's why Eldar are good. They can be everywhere, and by accident, they just kill all your models. The reason Marines are good is because they have Death Stars that can't be killed, and they are kind of good at killing a lot of models, and they're kind of good at being in multiple places. But they still have that like kind of 2 out of 3 equation. Now what you've done is you've taken a Death Star army, you've given it the ability to be everywhere at once, the ability to be unkillable, and the ability to kill everything. You've given it essentially all 3 elements of winning missions.
That seems pretty solid.
I feel though that if you're going to be riding a piece of terrain, around as it's being moved, I feel like I would only allow that if they're singing "Magic Carpet Ride" by Steppenwolf while they're doing it.
You heard it here first. You better download that on your smartphone, and you better have it queued up to press play every time you say you're going to do it. Every time. I'll also take the 1996 X-Men cartoon theme song.
Oh, that.
Yep, absolutely. Because I just have in my mind, I just have Magneto when he breaks out of that prison in X-Men 2.
Yeah.
When he pulls the iron out of the body, he makes the disc, and he's just like B-boy stance, rides it out of the prison. Like, I'll also accept that.
Yeah. Or in X-Men 3 where he moves like the entire Golden Gate Bridge.
Yes, or you're on more like the Golden Gate Bridge, honestly, and his whole squad of elite killers.
But that movie never happened, thank goodness. So.
Thank Jesus.
Oh man. So I have an honorable mention here that I just read and I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. So there's on Geokinesis, there's a power called Phase Form. It's Warp Charge 1. It's a blessing that targets a friendly unit within 24. While the power is in effect, the unit has a move through cover special roll, and all of its weapons have the ignore cover special roll.
Oh my God! You mean
wait, there's more. In addition, the unit does not need line of sight in order to attack an enemy unit in the shooting phase. As long as the target is in range, it can be shot.
Oh my God, dude. I can't believe that slipped through the cracks. That is perfect timing, which is the divination power. That's one of the best powers. The only limitation of that ability is that the psyker and his units. You're telling me I can target a different unit how many inches away?
24.
So that is in the list. That's like, now we're going to top 4 because perfect timing was only something I could deal with because only one unit, like where the psyker had to be in the unit. Mm-hmm. This is literally like this unit, then this unit, then this unit. Damn, handing out ignore cover is a problem.
It's a huge problem. And you don't need a line of sight. So you can just be like, you don't even need to use your shifting worldscape to move that hill. Now you just, as long as you're in range with your grab guns or whatever, you're just blasting.
Oh, nice. Shit.
Yeah, that's very strong. That's very strong.
Very nice.
Haspel, did you have an honorable mention too?
I did. I don't know the name of the power, but it's under Librarius, so Rob's going to have to jump in. But it's some power where basically you do -2 to invul saves. Now, the only thing is I think it's a malediction. So
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously it's going to be harder to get off, but
it's going to be harder to get off against some things. But is it armor save or saving throws? What is it?
-2 to invuls.
So you can actually take down the ion shield on knights. That's an invul.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's actually huge, man. You can essentially turn off the ion shield on a Night Titan.
Oh man, and if you're in a squadron of them, it's -2 to the whole unit.
Wow.
Yeah, if you're playing the tripartite lance.
Right, and they won't have the whole adamantine will and all that stuff. So that's actually pretty cool.
I guess they could benefit from a psychic hood, though.
They could,
yeah.
Yeah.
But let me tell you what the last thing you're trying to do is against our army that we're talking about. The last thing you're trying to do is have your Night Titan standing next to the other part of your army. Because
that's going to be unfortunate.
Because I'm just going to be like, gotcha, bitch. Magneto and the Golden Gate Bridge just showed up, and we did the shake and bake, and we're going to charge everything in your army. You're going to have to no deploy, and you're going to have to spread out to fight against this. Fine. Do what you want. Put your guys 6 inches apart.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
I do want to take another quick second to mention Harrys.com. Harrys.com, yet again, in case you missed in the first half of the show, you're just tuning in. Harrys.com is an official sponsor of the Long War. If you log into their website and you go on, navigate to the Truman Shaving Kit and you add it to cart and you enter in the promo code The Long War, you will get a $15 shaving kit for $10 with free shipping. And we're talking about the iciest razors, the official razors of my sideburns, the icy sideburns of the business. They got the sickest shaving gel, the sickest, cleanest razors. We got to use them all weekend at Adepticon, and dare I say, we looked the best. We're the most handsome individuals in that room.
I have to shave every day. I'm the hairiest guy of the show.
You can't tell. Look how smooth your face is.
Yeah, like baby's bottom.
But definitely check out the promo code. Literally, also I'll take a quick opportunity because it was too funny not to mention. We had a recent hater hit us up on the YouTube channel.
Oh gosh.
Too funny not to mention.
So
Since Juice isn't here to do his normal like soft golf clap segment, we'll do it soft golf clap to internet hater, who basically called me out on being a total 100% tool, and basically said I need to learn I need to shave. I think I'm a greaser too. Is that right?
You're a greaser.
Yeah. Now, I did give that guy points because he referenced, he busted out the Lost Boys on you. I'm like, that's a vintage bust right there. I mean, that's great.
That's where he gets the soft golf clap for.
Yeah. I was just like, damn, Lost Boys, really? Okay, you get that. That's solid.
He wanted me to improve my diction and shave, and so I mentioned Aries.com that now with the savings and the new shaving kit, I could finally shave and afford to go back to school and improve my diction.
Nice.
So problem solved. I mean, that's how Harry's do. Harry's is saving people right there.
Yep. Making friends all over the internet.
But I mean, but back on task. these psychic powers, is there any way you guys can see Battle Brothers? Like how can we maximize these psychic powers of Battle Brothers?
Well, before we get into that, I feel like there's already a little controversy because in the book, in the supplement book, it says certain people can use these psychic powers, and in the little crib sheet that comes with the cards, it names other chapters like Dark Angels, Blood Angels, Grey Knights, and Space Wolves. So it's just kind of, that is a minor, we're going to have to get some clarification there. I feel like going with the crib sheet of the cards, that's the intent.
Well, the ad in the White Dwarf, too, specifically says, hey, you can use this for Blood Angels, Dark Angels, Grey Knights, and Space Wolves, like, in the ad. So, like, I don't know. It's... Somebody wasn't talking to the other person, but I mean, it's on the sheet.
Let me ask you,
too.
Rob, did the cards come out before the supplement dropped?
No, they're all out at the same time.
Yeah, they're coming out all at the same time this weekend, right?
Yeah. In the past, this has happened before. You know, White Dwarf comes out with a little excerpt, like with the Iron Priest, and said, "Hey, the Iron Priest is an HQ choice now, but you can still play it as an elite. You can play it as both." And then the supplement came out a week later and said it's just an HQ. So
Gotcha.
obviously there's people are getting their lines crossed. There's multiple people making rules calls without communicating with each other, and they're in the GW Beats lab. I wouldn't be shocked, in my opinion, if this was just a template drag and drop situation where they just have a psychic card template in their design studio, and that verbiage just got drafted over from the last template and not changed. And then in the supplement that they wrote from the ground up, they didn't bring it up because maybe the intent wasn't to.
So I think it's the opposite.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you were correct. I wouldn't be surprised if I was correct. Well,
just because the supplement, the language in the supplement says something like you need to be Codex Space Marines, whereas the card actually lists out the different categories of the powers, like biomancy or
and it checks it off if you can take it or not.
And also, you're true, in multiple places it does say Space Marines means this. Everywhere it says preferred, enemy Space Marines, it says this is the list. So I can definitely see. I mean, I think you're right. Honestly, I think the intent is to give it to them all.
Yeah, and which would be neat.
It would be, and obviously FAQs like big governing bodies are going to come in quick. Like I actually have a prediction. I think that the ITC is going to ban the Magneto B-Boy attack from being able to assault.
Oh, I can just see them in their command bunkers, just like, what do we do? How are we going to handle this? We're going to have to vote. Scramble.
Yeah, I mean, document management is a part of their lifestyle, and they're going to have to manage this document because I honestly can see permission was not granted to assault because on the Ricky Bobby shake and bake attack, it specifically says you can assault. On this attack, it does not, and then even further says, like units that get displaced like by the terrain who aren't fully in it are using a vehicle rule to disembark, which vehicles, unless they're assault vehicles or open tops, you can't assault. So like I can see them taking that all into consideration and making a ruling saying if you do the Magneto attack, you cannot assault. I can see that, which doesn't matter because ultimately any army that's trying to choke an enemy out or get avenues of line of sight, moving a terrain piece is fine.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think we need to talk about the most powerful Space Marine in the history of ever.
Oh yeah, we didn't even cover him.
That's coming out this week. So the limited edition 2016 Imperial Space Marine, which is the clam pack redo of the original Space Marine, it was a limited edition mail order thing back in 85, 86 or whatever 30 years ago is. Kenny would know. He was alive back then, right?
Yeah, I made it.
So here's how you can field this particular Marine. One Space Marine in your army can be replaced with the Imperial Space Marine at no additional points cost.
So obviously by no additional point cost, you mean for some points, because that's insane.
I think it means no additional points cost.
Freezies. Like it literally any Space Marine army?
That's what it says. One Space Marine in your army can be replaced with the Imperial Space Marine at no additional points.
And we talked about this earlier. So Space Marines aren't a unit type. It's Space Marine Tactical Squad. It's Space Marine Assault Squad. It's Space. So you're telling me it's like a Devastator, an Assault Marine, anything?
Yeah,
that's how I'm reading it.
That's how
Okay.
it sounds to me.
How many wounds? What's his stat line? Like, is he the same as a 1 wound guy, or
Yeah, he's the same. He's just same as a normal Space Marine.
BS 4, weapon skill 4, 1 wound?
Yep. Initiative 4, 1 attack, leadership 8, 3+ save. But what he does have is this nifty thing called the Disintegration Combi Gun. Not a combi bolter. So it functions as a bolter, but it also has a secondary weapon that can be fired more than once during the battle. And the secondary weapon...
More than once. That's interesting. Okay.
Well, what's the combi part that's only 1 per game?
That's the Disintegration Gun. But it says you cannot fire both in the same turn. Note that unlike other combi weapons, the secondary weapon can be fired more than once during the battle.
Holy shit.
So basically, you're never going to fire the bolter.
Yeah, why would you? Stupids.
So obviously, this is a free model. So obviously, the Disintegration Gun is like a rending, one-shot poison attack or something like that.
I think it's a little bit better. It's an 18-inch range, strength 5, AP 2, rapid fire, gets hot, instant death gun.
So
Whoa.
at 9 inches, it shoots twice. It's strength 5, AP 2, and it causes instant death.
Yep.
So now, what you're telling me is I can look at a Nurgle Demon Prince and say your invulnerable save is -2. Then I can slingshot over, which was Haspel's pick, which is his honorable mention second power.
Right. Yeah.
Then I can slingshot over the new one we talked about, which is a don't need line of sight, ignore cover ability to this guy. And this guy can literally strength 5, AP 2, wound this Demon Prince, force him to take 6+ invulnerable, and if he fails it, he's instantly killed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what it sounds like to me is a better silencer, because you don't have to callous force. You know what I mean, and it's stronger, and the silencer is AP dash or something, where you get your armor saves. So this is AP 2.
Oh my God, you're right. It is a way better silencer. You don't have to cast a power, nothing.
Nothing. You just shoot it.
So you can look over at a Nemesis Dread Knight, throw an Enfeeble over on him, wound him on a 4, and make him fail his 5 invulnerable and kill him.
And kill him. Yeah. Just outright done. And I feel like this guy has to go. I mean, the easy delivery is in a pod. Just put him with a squad of Sternguard or whatever else is in the pod. You know what I mean? You just
shit. I mean, motherfucker doesn't even need line of sight. Doesn't even need line of sight if you use. I mean, like you're saying, are we using the language of like any Space Marine? Like, I mean, that's
Space Marine in your army. Yeah.
I mean, he can. Yeah, pod is amazing. Hiding behind a wall and ignoring line of sight because he has the second power is amazing. I mean, this guy is a true beast.
But wait, there's more. He also comes with a Disintegration pistol. That's a 9-inch version of that gun right there. I
thought that gun was 9 inches.
No, that's 18 inches rapid fire. So
wow.
2 shots, 9 inches. So this way he can shoot it in assault.
He can assault, yeah.
Wow, what a cool ability! I mean, for free. I'm so glad it's free. Like, I'm so glad that Space.
Yeah.
So are we saying that Space Wolves are Space Marines?
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm saying.
Ironically, they are, because if you have preferred enemy, and this has been clarified in many places, preferred enemy Space Marine is all Space Marines.
Yes.
Like all
if we're saying the psychic powers, like I would, unless otherwise stated, I would say you can a Grey Hunter, anyone.
Oh my goodness! I think I know where one of my Wolf Guard is not going to fit in that pod.
I mean, it's great for a lot of units. I mean, you catch that Farseer slipping in the back corner, catch that. I mean, roll a pocket 6 against a Wraith Knight, do D3 wounds.
Well, it's rapid fire, so you might get 2 on them. I mean, but you have to malediction. You'd have to enfeeble them or something.
I mean, it's straight 5. It always was a 6.
Yeah, you got a chance.
I mean, like I'm saying, it's free. I like free.
I like free.
Like, I mean, I'm telling you, it's a scary ability.
Now, but there's obviously a limit of 1 per force. You know, you can't duplicate this guy. He's got to be unique.
But also he's. Wait, it says 1 Space Marine.
Oh, 1 Space Marine in your army. Yeah, your army.
If it's that detachment, they would have fucked up and said detachment.
So, every one of my Marines is this Marine.
So how do you guys feel about the count says that are going to come up, because this is a limited edition model. How you feeling about people just saying, hey, this one Grey Hunter that looks exactly like my other Grey Hunters has the disintegration?
Yeah, I feel like that is a foul. Like, you can't do that. Like, you need to have that. I don't mind if you make a Space Marine that looks like that guy. I mean, it's really not that hard to model that guy. I mean, he's just a beaky, with the cool combi gun. So
yeah, I think Rob even had a suggestion on how to convert it.
Well, yeah, I was saying, you get some of those Deathmark, Necron Deathmark guns, the ones everybody was using for grav conversions early on, and just use that because it's like kind of like a long barrel rifle with a bayonet on the end. Just use something like that. Be tight.
Sick. No, I mean, yeah, you're right. I endorse that, but I'm definitely going to flip a table over if somebody's idea of bringing a hobby back is same old exact tactical Marine posed blue guy over here as this guy.
Yeah, and he's called the Imperial Marine. So I almost feel like you need to paint him the way he's supposed to be, like that dark blue, almost Crimson Fist blue that he's painted.
This is how you know the Emperor is false. The corpse god is false. Because if he has this bolter, why the hell are you just not giving that bolter to every Marine?
Oh, it's funny because check it out. It says what does it say? It says some funny stuff. The design of these dangerous sidearms has long since been lost, and the few that remain are revered beyond measure. Oh yeah.
So basically, take this bolter to Tau, which you've already in fluff said you guys are tight with. They clearly have better technology than Space Marines. They say reverse engineer this for us.
That's heresy.
We won't destroy you.
And the regimental standard clearly told us that Tau technology is inferior to the Imperium. So you're wrong.
Propaganda. You're wrong.
I mean, all the poor D bloodthirsters getting killed by this. All the poor Taloses and all this stuff, man. Like, it's for free.
Yeah,
free.
I feel for the bloodthirsters. I really do on this one. I mean, it's like with the silencer. I mean, that's one of my tactics is I use I'll use banish and lower the guy's invul save and then hit him with a silencer. But he still gets his armor save. I'm just trying to just
wound him on 6s and he gets a 3-up. And also they don't have any ability to stop second powers in a Demon Kid army. So you're like, here's a pocket and feeble. Wound him on 4s. Ignore cover with the second power so his jinx save doesn't come through.
Yeah.
And you can invalidate his invulnerable. I mean, literally, a standard with these new second powers in Librarian's Conclave, you literally, and this guy being in your army for free, you can just look at the table and be like, oh, I gotta play this power, roll a 4. Now you have to roll a 6 or you're dead.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And for free. That's the best part.
Now, where are the rules for this guy found, Rob?
It comes in a box.
Oh, okay. So it's not like in a White Dwarf or something.
No.
Yeah, but obviously it's free. Everyone's gonna have one. It's amazing.
Oh,
they better give me one for cast. They better give me the Doom Rider for free or something.
Oh, plus 4 Doom Rider.
Yeah, come on, man. Give me something. Damn it.
One day, when it's the 30th anniversary of Chaos Space Marines.
So you think this guy's going to be the new Void Shield generator?
Well, the fact that he's free, you're fucking up if you don't have one. I mean,
yeah, why would you not take him?
Yeah, the only reason I wouldn't take him is, honestly, if we're like, hey, Grey Knights don't count or Space Wolves don't count.
Hashtag Grey Knights matter too.
That's the only reason I wouldn't take him, because it's just if he can replace anybody,
they're gonna have to FAQ it, because Space Marine Scout, Space Marine Tactical Marines, Space Marine Tactical Squad. I'm talking my ally of 5 scouts, he'll be one of those.
Maybe they just mean faction. I don't know.
Well, I mean, faction aside, I'm talking about even if it ends up just being Space Marine, Codex Space Marines or Codex Astartes, the language right now supports me just making a scout this guy.
Well, they do. Okay, so special rules, they shall know no fear. Chapter tactics, see Codex Space Marines. Combat squads, see Codex Space Marines. So maybe it is just Codex Space Marines.
I mean, that makes sense. It does strongly indicate Codex Space Marines, but what I'm saying is it doesn't say Space Marine Tactical Squad. It literally says Space Marines. nothing in the Space Marine Codex is a Space Marine. It's Space Marine : unit type. So that means my ally of Sergeant Teleon, Thunderfire Cannon, and 5 scouts, so I can do literally 1 scout now is this guy for free, and they infiltrate and shoot you with this bolter and possibly instant kill your guy in the backfield. Like it's free.
He is infantry unique as well, so you definitely can't squeeze 1-on-1 per.
Yeah. It was clear when they said army, but
Yeah.
if you play Space Marines and you have scouts or tactical Marines and you don't take him, you're fucking up.
Hashtag. Don't forget the Imperial Space Marine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking. Think about this. In Annihilation. What's the drop pod Annihilation thing?
Skyhammer Annihilation Force.
Yeah. So your Devastator squads, just take one of the sergeants out and replace him with him. And the Devastator squads.
I guess theoretically you could do that because he's not an independent character. So
yeah, he's a Space Marine : Devastators.
Yeah.
Literally, you can have all these grav cannons and everything, and this one guy for free as an instant death AP2 Strength 5 bolter.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Space Marine Codex to see if there's any qualification on, but it doesn't.
Can you back me up on my statement I made about Space Marine units?
Well, it doesn't even say Space Marine : you know what I mean? It's just tactical squad. That's what it is. And so I'm looking, and it just says,
in the unit of tactical squad, does it say 4 Space Marines and 1 Space Marine sergeant?
Oh, let me look at that.
Or does it say tactical Marine?
Give me just a second. Let's see.
I'm trying to find something in the White Dwarf to see if it says.
Tactical squad. Let me go there and see what's going on. It actually says may include up to 5 additional Space Marines.
Ooh.
Okay.
So that kind of answers that question right there.
Okay. So now go to Devastator squad. What does it say there?
Okay. I'm on my iPad, so that's why I'm going a little bit slower. Well, let's leave. There's an assault squad. I'll try that one. It's under assault squad. It says Space Marines.
Okay, Devastator squad says the same thing.
I'm looking.
Oh my! So yes. So
this
not a scout.
This is one of the few I like. This they got me on this one when I got ticked off about buying the special edition Grey Knight thing. So I did not have this one in hard copy. Let's see. No, Devastator squad may include up to 5 additional Space Marines. So there you go.
So yes, you can put it in a Skyhammer Annihilation Force, but you can't replace the Space Marine Sergeant, I guess. Or what?
Well, why wouldn't you? I mean,
I guess you could just add a signal.
Well, because it says may upgrade the Space Marine Sergeant to a Veteran Sergeant, but I mean, you can just have a Devastator in there that has nothing.
Yeah, you just buy a 15-point guy, so it would be
exactly.
So that's cool. Pay 15 points.
Feel reading this now that Grey Knights and Space Wolves and all those guys can't take them.
Correct. So
I think it's a Codex Space Marine thing only.
So we did get to the bottom of that, thankfully. I feel pretty confident that.
I'm just double checking to make sure before we say something nutty, but I feel like under Grey Knights it does not say Space Marines. It says
Strike Squad.
It says additional Grey Knights or something.
Yeah.
And I'm looking to confirm that before.
Yeah, if we make a mistake, just deny everything.
Yeah, that's right. Deny everything, make counter accusations. That's always worked in the past.
Reserve the right to backpedal at any point.
All right, so let's look at. I'm looking at a Grey Knight Strike Squad right now. It says may include up to 5 additional Grey Knights. So the Grey Knights can't take this guy.
Yeah. So that makes sense because now, so we got it. We figured it out. This guy's free. He's just for Codex Astartes. He is a free Strength 5 AP2 instant death bolter that every army should include. Every battle dump, every Gladius should have one. Every Skyhammer Annihilation Force should have one because it's free. Well, anyway, guys, I think we did an hour. I think we did a good job covering the game-breaking Sacred Powers. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think we
top
did a
three
good job.
plus one honorable mention. So, well, there'll be definitely more where this came from because we have tons of content to digest, and I'm sure we'll be talking about this book for.
Yeah, give him a sneak peek next episode. Next episode, I think we're gonna do top 3 formations.
Formations, probably, yeah, because there's some new stuff in here, so it's definitely we're gonna be talking about it for a while.
And he found something never recorded once in over 300 surveyed worlds, a creature that gestates inside a living human host. These are your words, and has concentrated acid for blood.
Nerd.
I know, right?
Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. Thelongwar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos.